Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Dina, and in today's video we are going to be tackling redecorating my kitchen after the holiday season. Now, my kitchen probably looked much like yours once you took down all of your Christmas decor. It was quite plain, and you may have had kind of a little stumble in not knowing where to go with your decor after the season. And that's exactly where I was. I didn't know if I wanted to do winter decor. I know that's really big here on YouTube. And I didn't know if I wanted to go Valentine's Day. And honestly, I thought, well, I want to get rid of all my Christmas decor. I want to make sure that it's put away and packed away for next year. So I thought winter decor is probably not going to happen because it's all going to be packed away. So I thought, surely I'll just head straight into Valentine's Day. Well, I took a little trip to Hobby Lobby and I found 3 prints that I just absolutely fell in love with, and thank goodness they were on sale. So I was able to pick those up, and that took me in a totally different direction. Now, I love the romantic feel of decor. If you've been around for long, you know that is so true. I love candlelight, I love moodiness, and so I am going to bring that into my kitchen. So it kind of could lend itself towards a Valentine's feel. And if I just added a few touches here and there, then it definitely would. But for now, I'm gonna stick with what I have in mind and we'll go from there. But I'm hoping this will also serve as inspiration to all of us to go thrifting, go to Goodwill, go to antique shops, look in the bin that you've put way in the back of your garage or in a closet, and open that up, see what goodies you have in there. I'm gonna be honest with you, I found a bin in our garage as we were putting things away and taking stuff back to our storage unit. It was a bin full of things that I did not want. And I knew I didn't want them when I put them in there. I put them in there on purpose to get rid of that bin, to either give it away or donate. Sometimes we'll just put things out on our curb and our neighbors will come by and take them, which I love that idea because I know people are wanting them and it's going to a good home. But I never got that far. I just stuck it on the shelf, and there it was, probably for 2 years, because I really don't touch that side of the garage. And so that was kind of disappointing. But in other cases, I opened up bins and found things that I hadn't used in some time. So that was kind of nice. So I do encourage you to do that, and maybe even a small DIY. I have one of those. Some of you have seen that already, but I'm going to use that again today. So let's go ahead and get started with what we're going to do, and I will kind of show you what I'm using along the way. Okay, I figured we would start on this side of the kitchen because I got ahead of myself and I've already hung up this one print that I purchased from Hobby Lobby last week. Now, how I go about doing that on our tile backsplash is I do remove the hanger that comes on it, and then I use simple command strips, no hooks involved. I just place them onto the frame and then take that piece of tape off and adhere them to the tile, and they stay there until I want them removed. So I go ahead and put this hanger piece into my little nail kit. So if I want to hang this print anywhere else in the house, that's always on hand. But these prints are so pretty. The frame is gorgeous. It is that more vintage vibe, which you know that I absolutely love bringing into our home. Now, this print was regularly $19.99, and excuse me, I don't remember if it was 40% off or 50% off, but either way, I think you are getting such a bargain because, like I said, the frame is just really pretty, and then along with the print, that's just a great buy. When you can find something like this on sale, why pass it up? So I didn't. I brought 3 of them home. So again, $19.99, and then I will go ahead and place the number up next to it so that you know, and I will definitely try to link them down below in case you're looking for something just like this. You just can't pass that kind of bargain buy. Okay, the next one, another landscape. Little house here that I thought was so sweet. Now, these frames are matching, and these 2 smaller ones, which I love because I'm using them on opposite sides of the kitchen, and you know that I really enjoy tying spaces together in that kind of way. One is going to be larger than the other, but again, matching in the frame, and I just love that idea. Now this one was $22.99, and again on sale for 40 or 50% off, but either way, it is such a bargain for what you've got. This frame really is sturdy. It's just a beautiful feel to it, so well worth the money. I will say, I try very hard to make sure that I am showing you something that I am going to bring into my home, and I really do enjoy having in my home. It is something that I feel is worth the money and looks very luxurious, and this is one of those items. Now I try not to bring anything to you that I would not want in my home. I'm going to be very careful with that, but I would highly suggest anytime you see something suggested on YouTube to be very careful and be willing to go look at it yourself before making a judgment if you want to purchase it for yourself. Because a lot of times I've seen things online and I go to the store, look for them, and it's like, well, that's not what it looked like online. And so I'm probably not what I look like online, even though I don't use a filter. I think somehow the upgrade feature of YouTube makes things look a little nicer than they truly are. So I just want to caution you in that. Be sure to go take a look for yourself before you think about purchasing something. I know with Amazon that's kind of hard to do, but thankfully Amazon has a great return policy, and it's pretty easy because you can just drop it off at a couple different places. So that's super easy. But in other cases, like going to Walmart or Target or things like that, be very careful and make your own judgment on that, because sometimes those things are just really plasticky looking, and I don't like them at all once I see them in person. So that's just the caution that I feel like I need to give to you, because things just sometimes look a little too pretty here on the screen. Okay, so this print, obviously I've already gotten it hung up, so I don't have the sticker before me, but I will definitely try to have the item number for you here on the screen. And I am pretty sure that it was $22.99 as well. And then again, with that 40 or 50% discount, you just cannot go wrong. And I'll show that to you a little bit closer up as well. But let's go ahead and get started on this corner, and then we'll make our way around. Now this one was obviously much darker, but it just gave that very moody vibe. It's got a beautiful frame, and I just thought it was well worth the money, so why not buy it? But as you can see, it's hung right on our tile backsplash, and like I said, it will stay there until I take it down. Okay, another thing that I truly like to address when I am decorating, especially here in the kitchen, is our outlets and then some of our alarm devices that we have here in this space. So I'm going to go ahead and take this smaller print and just prop it up against the tile backsplash. But I also have a couple little sticky dots and actually a sticky square that I have there on the frame just to keep it from sliding anytime, because obviously the granite is slick, but I don't want it doing that and knocking anything down or just getting in the way. So we're going to put that right here. And of course that lends itself to my love for layering, having the two frames layered up against each other. And now we're going to go ahead and bring in some more decor. Okay, I've talked about the DIYs that I made. Now I know a lot of you have seen these, but this was just some wood that Ronnie had in his discard pile, and I looked at it, it was broken already, and I thought, oh my goodness, I love this. I know it's silly, but this is what sold me on it. I love that it's so rustic looking. So what I did is I took some drawer pulls that I had, and I just simply kind of dug a little hole into the wood put some super glue down in there, and they have stayed. Now, I am a 5-minute crafter. If it takes longer than 5 minutes, then I want nothing to do with it. But they've lasted. I've had these stored in the garage for a couple months now because of the holidays, and I didn't use them then. And they've done so well. So I'm gonna use this one right here in front of a larger print just to give me a little bit of a rise off of the counter. I like risers, but I like them in a certain way. So this was something that really kind of spoke to me. It's something different, it's unique, and it was free. So I'm gonna place it right there, and we'll go ahead and bring in some decor. Okay, first things first, I know books. I love my vintage books, and I have been so blessed with the ladies at our library. They keep an eye out for vintage books for me that come in. We have a book sale that goes on, I think, pretty much every week, but every now and then they'll get vintage books in. And so I would become friends with the ladies of your library and see if you can get a hold of some vintage books. Now, I get them there. I get them at vintage stores. I've looked at Goodwills. I look there all the time. And then we do have a local used bookstore that carries them quite often. And I would say definitely hit that type of place up, because a lot of times, if it's like ours, they have sales for every single month. And so, like, this one came from that store. So the time that I got these, the yellow stickers were 60% off. So I went kind of crazy and I got me quite a few books. Ronnie knows not to go to the bookstore if he's not wanting to buy vintage books. So thankfully, he's pretty good about buying vintage books. But I love setting these all throughout my home. Now, I know this is my kitchen, but again, it's my kitchen. And so I'm going to decorate it the way I want it to be decorated. And I suggest that you do that for you. Make it your space. It's your space. You need to enjoy it on the day-to-day. And it's gonna speak about you. And that's pretty much what our kitchen does for us. It speaks of us and what we really cherish. And so I'm gonna set some of them on the riser and then one right next to it, just to kind of give just a little bit of a difference in height. On to a beautiful Goodwill find. I found this quite a while ago on a trip to Palm Springs. If you live near Palm Springs, go. Go now and check out all of their thrift shops and their Goodwills, because they are exquisite. I walked in there and I'm like, I want that whole display. I want that whole display. I want that whole display. And each and every one of them had tons of stuff that I could have brought home. But this was one, and you have seen her time and time again. She travels all throughout my home. I just love the look of her. I don't have the price on her anymore, but she was under $10, and it's just gorgeous. She is a little heavy, so I am careful with where I put her, but I thought she went so well with that dark and moody print. And so I'm gonna set her right next to those books just to give a little bit more moodiness to that area. Another thing that I absolutely love about vintage books are their distressed pages. Now, this one isn't as distressed as some. I have some that are absolutely gorgeous in my eye, but I do like using them where the pages are exposed. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right under the shelf, because it's going to give me another area to put this beautiful candle. And I already lit it. I was talking to Jeremiah the other night. I said, I don't know what it is, but I cannot stand the look of a brand new candle. And he said, Mom, it's probably because you're such into that vintage feel, and so you want it to look a little bit older. And I'm sure that's it. I light all my candles right away just so they don't have that brand new look. But this was so pretty to me. I love the color and I love the texture, and it was on sale for $1.74 at Hobby Lobby. So that's another thing that I picked up. I actually picked up quite a few candles. I was in that candle spirit because I went to Hobby Lobby thinking I would gather a few things for Valentine's Day, and I thought I really want to bring in a lot of candlelight. I adore candlelight, and I thought, well, that's that romantic feel that will go along with Valentine's Day. Even though I haven't gone that way, I love these candles. So I'm going to set that right on the book. And the last two things we're going to add are these topiaries that I DIY'd not long ago. It's a simple stick from our backyard and 2 moss spears plus some moss, because you got to add moss if you live in Dina's house, to everything, and a couple terracotta pots that I don't know if I got these from Hobby Lobby or Dollar Tree, but either way, I just think they kind of go with everything. So I thought I would set one right up here on the riser, and then one maybe right down below, or scoot this down because I kind of like to see the foot of the riser. So probably adjust that a little bit once I can get in front of it, but that's our first little vignette, and we'll move on to the next. All right, moving along to our next area, yet again, covering up a couple outlets and of course, this wonderful device that I use as my timer. Now I have another one of those DIY risers, and of course, that broken end is what I love most. So I'm going to go ahead and set it right here. So that broken end, most of us are going to see first. And the next thing that I'm going to add to that is this print again from Hobby Lobby. So we've taken care of quite a bit that I need to hide, but of course we have a little bit more. So I'm going to bring in something to disguise that as well. And that is a thrifted find that I found quite a while ago. You've probably seen it before as well in some of my videos, but I just want to give you some inspiration to maybe go check out your local Goodwill, even if you don't think it's a good one. A lot of times, I don't think ours are very good, and I'm actually pretty jealous and envious of some of the ladies that are on YouTube and they go to their Goodwill bins, and it's like, oh my gravy, if I could find that, I would be there every single day. But you kind of have to hunt and gather what you find in the moment, and so this is one of those things. Let me show you. This bicycle basket. I thought it was so cute. It's so weathered. It's just kind of old and vintage looking. I love the straps, even though most of the time you don't see them when I decorate with it. I just think they're so precious. I believe I found this, oh yeah, $2.99 at Goodwill. So, hello, not $50, $2.99, and it's just got that sweet vintage touch that I really love bringing in, and it's going to help me hide more of this nonsense that I don't want to see on the daily. So I'm going to place it right there. And my topiary trees, which you've seen time and time again, these were just a lucky find at Target one day. They don't sell them in store, but I happened upon them, so they must have been a return. Somebody purchased them online and for some reason didn't like them. I don't know why, because these are my absolute favorite. Boxwood, oh, I just love this stuff. I could go crazy and just buy it all when I'm in a vintage shop. We have a vintage shop downtown that has it all the time, which I'm grateful for, because when I have some extra money, I do like going in there and picking something up. This is my favorite. It's obviously preserved, so it's real, and it's not plasticky, and I love that about it. I'm gonna fit that right down in there, and it discusses. Okay, more books. Now, you can see, look at those pages. Oh, that's what I love. I love the look of those pages. They are just gorgeous to me. So I'm going to go ahead and set these two on the little riser, and I'm gonna have these facing forward because they're just gorgeous. I've got to move this around, I guess. Okay, we have another Goodwill find, and I believe these are some of the items that I found at a Salvation Army, if I remember right. But they are so pretty. I have the sugar jar as well, obviously, with the candle already in it, because I decorate before and then tear it all down and redecorate in front of the camera, because if I had to think all this up on the fly, it just would take me forever. But anyways, here is that beautiful creamer. It has gorgeous detail in the legs, and I think that's what draws me to these. They're just so pretty and ornate. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one right here on the books. Oh, and that candle is from Hobby Lobby as well. I found those on clearance for, I think these were 99 cents. So another great buy. And I'm gonna take this book, and once again, underneath the shelf, just to add another bit of rise for this. Okay, this really isn't the perfect angle, so I may have to move the camera around a little bit, but I'm bringing in my huge cheese board that I found at Hobby Lobby a while back. You've seen it before. I purchased this for 75% off. I don't remember how much it was initially, but 75% off was a great find, and that is something that I wanted to mention because there were quite a few of these left, and I don't want you to be discouraged if you're not there the day after something goes on sale. Always go take a look, because you never know what you're going to find. Now, 75% off is not the first discount that they make after the season. It's usually 66%, I think, is their first for some weird reason, and then it's 75% off. And like I said, so many of these were still available, and I think it's a beautiful find. I love this piece. It's huge, and I'm going to use it right here on the island next to my sink. I just love decorating around our sink area, and of course then it adds to the island itself. But let's go ahead, put this in place because it's heavy. Okay, I had to turn it around because my brain's not used to it being the opposite way, even though I thought, oh, that might be a good idea. Yeah, I just couldn't do it. I know you can't see me too much in the camera, but this is a kind of a weird angle. But anyways, I'm bringing in a couple more finds from the Goodwill. This tray is one of my favorites, and I found this dome at an antique shop. Now I will say, I think they sell these big domes at Hobby Lobby for pretty inexpensive. So I've not gone and looked because each time I forget, but maybe take a look because they're big, and apothecaries and cloches are quite expensive, and I don't think these are. What I did was I just added some moss and I grouped some candles together, tied them off with a ribbon, and that's my little vignette. Okay, so I'm gonna place that there, and then books. Yeah, if you get tired of books, then you may get tired of me. Goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there, and then my trusty planter bust. I believe I've purchased all of these at Michael's. They've had them the last 2 years in a row during the springtime, so maybe they'll bring them back. She was white, and I've kind of painted her up a little bit, but I just love these. I think they are such a neat add to decor. Of course, it's kind of that vintage vibe, so I'm gonna put her right here. And then lastly, I found this at a vintage shop, and I thought, no, I found this at the bookstore, and I could not get over the color of the book. These are my colors. If you know, I love black, gold, and green. Green is the only color that I really allow in my house until it becomes Memorial Day, and then it's all flags. But I love this book, and this is actually my favorite book, Sense and Sensibility. I just love. So I'm gonna place that right here. I've got my wick cutter and my little snuffer, so I'm gonna just place those right here because that's easy for me to find when I need them. Okay, on to the last station here in the kitchen that I like to address, and the first one is this wire rack. I get asked all the time where it's from. It's from Hobby Lobby, probably about 15 years ago, and I've looked for them over and over again, and they've never come back. But I've used it here in our kitchen since we moved in, and I love it here. It holds our soaps, and then it gives me 2 options for placing decor, here on the bottom shelf and this top one. And then I have a little area right here that I always put a tray to keep our drinks rounded up in one space, and I like that so that they're not spread all across the counter. It's one easy spot, and I usually put a little trinket of decor on that as well, which I will be today. So let's get started on these 2 spaces, and then we'll be done. Okay, if you thought I might use more books, you're right. I have some more books, and I'm going to place some of them right down here as a backdrop to this sweet little framed print that I found at Hobby Lobby. Now it was $5.49, and if you ever see the word gift on a tag, they are never on sale. So they get you with these cute little trinkets that are so sweet and so unique that they're a gift. So they never go on sale. So yes, I paid $5.49 for this teeny little thing, but I thought it was so cute and I could not leave without it. So I brought it home, and I'm gonna place it right here in front of the books. I thought that was really cute. Okay, on to the top. I found this, I almost left it, but it reminded me of Sense and Sensibility when Mary Ann and Margaret go running down the hill. I don't know, it just reminded me of that. So I love this. I found it at a vintage shop for $4. It's so pretty. and it matches my prints. So I was so thankful that I went ahead and got it. I am bad about finding something, and even though it's only $4, I'm like, but do I really want it? Is it really gonna work? Well, yes, it is. So I am glad I brought it home, but I've kind of messed around with a couple things. I first thought this topiary ball, but I don't like it. So I brought in some other greenery and I want to see if that will work in it. If not, then we'll move on to something else, but let me grab that and see if that works inside this. Okay, here is the greenery I was talking about. I've shown you this at Hobby Lobby, and actually I made this into topiary quite a few years ago before I took my long break on YouTube. I had made 2 topiaries out of these, and so it's kind of still shaped in that round kind of ball shape. It's kind of squished because it's been in a bin, but I thought maybe I could use this because I do have it going on in a couple more spaces that I'll show you in a week or so from now. But let me kind of mess around with that and see if it works. Okay, I think I like that better. It's not exactly perfect, but it's better than the topiary ball. So we'll stick with that for now and then move on to our little drink area. I also want to show you, I took one of my little Goodwill finds and I stuffed our Kleenex in there so that it had kind of a cute little vintage vibe for its container instead of a cardboard box. And I have this sitting next to that rack. It's cold season and Kleenexes need to be out, but why not put them in something pretty? All right, one last spot. Now I have a friend who is, oh my goodness, she is the sweetest to me. She thinks about me all the time. Sister Kathy, you are absolutely amazing and I love everything that you have gifted me. I try to tell her not to gift me anymore, but she always has something for me and I just am so appreciative of her kindness and generosity. And I think this tray is one of the things that she gifted me. Now she goes Goodwilling and she goes yard selling and she finds the best things. She's brought me so much silver and milk glass and just different little trinkets. Oh my goodness, just absolutely gorgeous, kind of mind-blowing what she finds. But I think this is one of the trays that she found. And what I've done is I have just put a cork saucer from the garden center at Walmart. I find these and this is what we use as a coaster in this. And so I always have it setting right here in our kitchen. That way, like I said, we have a place to put our drinks throughout the day and they're not spread all throughout the kitchen. The next thing that I wanted to show you is something that I recently DIY'd and I wanted to do more, but I lost my pears. Now I've found them since I went digging in my bins, but I went ahead and decoupaged this little pear that I purchased at Hobby Lobby, and all I used was gift wrap tissue paper, kind of the brown paper bag look, and I love it. I think it's so sweet. It's a very vintage looking. I don't know if you can tell on camera all the texture of it, but it's so cute. It was so easy. I have a tiny magnolia leaf that is still green and dried from our backyard. And then one that I did go ahead and place Rub and Buff on, but I thought that just was such a cute vibe. And I am so glad that I found my other pears because you better believe I'm going to be doing this to them. In fact, let me go try and grab one so you can see the difference. Okay, so these are cute. You know, I bought them, I like them, but I think these are cuter. I think they just give off a more vintage vibe. They actually would look really cute, kind of bundled together. But I wish you could really see in person. I don't think the camera's doing this justice. Just the little imperfections of it make it even better. But again, both of them are really cute, but I like this one a little bit better, so I will probably be making some more. And again, I think I found these at home, no, Joann Fabrics. I think I found these at Joann Fabrics, but you can find pears at Hobby Lobby as well. So you can always get those, or apples, or anything else. I think it's just a really neat little touch to them. Again, giving off that more vintage feeling. So I really like them, and I hope you do too. Okay, so I'm going to be placing it into this little candle holder that I found at Hobby Lobby. Found this quite a bit back, so I don't remember how much it was. I'm pretty sure they still have them. Never buy anything from Hobby Lobby unless it's on sale. They go 50% off, and definitely worth the price then. But I'm gonna set my little pear in there, and then I have the perfect little cloche that fits right down on there. So anyways, now I was gonna tell you, when I was over there and I had that cloche, I love the idea of having glass little cloches or apothecary jars out, because there is nothing more pretty than clean glass as decor. It just gives off a beautiful look. And so if you have these little touches around and they're nice and clean, it's just really, really pretty. And of course, I added a little tassel to the top, and I just think it's a cute little vignette to set right here on our drink station and call it good. I have one other thing that I do want to share with you, and I will try to link it down below, and I'll give you the numbers and the price on the screen as well. It's a candle that I found the other day at Target, and it smells so good, and I just love it. So let me show you that, and then we'll kind of give you a tour of the kitchen, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, here is the candle. Amber Sunrise. It's so pretty. I love the gold. The label, not my favorite, but you can easily turn it around. Just make sure it doesn't have fingerprints on it like this one probably does from me handling it the way I am. But it smells so good. It smells like kind of like men's cologne. So if you don't like that type of scent, they did have others, and all of the glass was just absolutely gorgeous. I think they had a kind of a teal, a purple, maybe a pink, no green, a silver maybe, but these were $15, and then they had a smaller version that was 10. So I'll go ahead and try to put that number on the screen for you as well, and the price. All right, let's go ahead and take a little tour around the kitchen. As we begin to come to the end of this video, I first want to apologize for the length. I had no clue until I had completely edited that it was this long. So please forgive me. But also I wanted to quickly share something I came across that ties all this thrifting business back to the Word of God. I know it's just so unreal. But the first thing is a quick writing by Candy Zeller. She says, thrifting is a spiritual practice that connects me to my own body and to the earth. It invites me to rebirth, creativity, reflection, and slowness, held in the beauty of what already is. And when it comes to thrifting, we are finding things that were no longer wanted, thrown to the side and deemed of absolutely no value. As we slowly make our way around, looking and digging through what others considered trash, we look to give it a new life. Like David wrote in Psalms 113:7, that God raises the poor from the dust and lifts the needy from the trash heap. So many things we do throughout the day ties us back to our Lord and Savior and His precious word. What a delight to do and be like Him, even in the simplest things like thrifting. All right, friends, it is that time to close another video up. Before I go, I want to thank you once again for stopping by. It really does mean so much to me to have your support week in and week out. I hope this video lent you some inspiration to go out and look at a vintage shop or a thrift shop. Maybe just kind of gather some things that you've stuck in a bin and look through it, see what you've got. Hobby Lobby obviously has some great finds in my opinion right now when it comes to these prints and things. And just go ahead and look for things that are truly going to speak to your heart and speak of you. I absolutely love the way the kitchen is looking right now. I knew that I needed to kind of dial it back. For me, I know it's still a lot for some, but it is really speaking to me right now until the next time that I decorate it, I'm sure. I have a habit of doing that. I will love it for a little while, and then after a while, it's like, why did I even do that? So I'm sure in a couple months, that's exactly where my mind will be, and we will be decorating again. But for now, I want to wish you all a wonderful rest of your week. Remember to stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.